Welcome to Salzburg, Austria. For many people, they want to come because of the musical Sound of Music. Many of the scenes were filmed in this wonderful city. But UNESCO designated it as a World Heritage Site in 1996. It's a lot to unpack here. Let's get started. Why don't we go on a Sound of Music tour? Much of it was shot here in Salzburg, and it is one of my most favorite movies of all time.
Now, who here has seen The Sound of Music? And I want to see all of your hands. Yes.
The half-day tour was filled with song and visits to various filming locations, and the inside scoop of what really was filmed here and what was filmed in a studio in Hollywood.
Now, this is Leopoldskron Palace. Leopold is the name, and Kron means crown.
We are at the Gazebo, the site of one of my favorite songs of the movie. I'm going to try to sing it for you, or at least part of it. All right, indulge me. I want to sing this. We can't go inside. There was an accident here by a 78-year-old woman that wanted to hop the benches. Unless I'm getting married. Apparently, they'll let you in if you get married. And if you don't want to hear me, fast forward to the next chapter. I am 16, going on 17. I know that I'm naive. Fellows I meet may tell me I'm sweet, and willingly I'll believe. How's that? We get a bonus on the tour, seeing the gorgeous landscapes that surround Salzburg. Then we head to the small town of Mondsee, where we have an epic dessert.
There's never been an apple strudel that I like, but here, there's like this warm vanilla cream, and it's trying to remember it.
But more importantly, we visit the site of one of the movie's iconic scenes.
The movie chose the interior of this church to represent the church that Maria and Georg actually got married in.
In the movie, they got married in the Abbey.
But they couldn't film at the Abbey because no men were allowed in there. So the only one allowed in the Abbey was Julie Andrews herself. The crew had to shoot above the fence. Kind of challenging, but it worked.
Oh, wow, this is it. Oh my gosh, magnificent. Retracing Maria's steps as she married her Georg. She walked up these stairs to exchange their marriage vows. But my favorite part of the tour is the sing-along on the bus of so many of the songs from the movie.
Lusty and clear from the goatherd's throat, and lay your blue. Bloom and grow forever. Little eyes, little eyes, it's my home and forever.
Even after the Sound of Music tour was over, we checked out other filming locations. The Nonnberg Abbey, which is where, in Sound of Music, Maria was a novice nun. Now we're coming across the Mozart Bridge, also known for Sound of Music fans as the Do-Re-Mi Bridge. And you guys, I think you know what's coming. If you don't want to hear me, just forward to the next chapter. Here I am breaking out into song. Do, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun, me, a name I call myself, far, a long, long way to run. Thank you for indulging me, you guys. Something about Salzburg brings out the music. I don't know, the music in you. Between 40 and 50% of Salzburg was destroyed during the Allied bombings of World War II. But the historic city center was pretty much spared. So these beautiful buildings that you see behind me, these Baroque buildings, they're the real thing. And it's the well-preserved city center and the architecture that reflects the cultural influences on the city that put Salzburg on UNESCO's World Heritage List. The Baroque style originated in Italy and was popular in the 16th through 18th centuries. It is so ubiquitous here that one of Salzburg's nicknames is Rome of the North. Arguably the most famous street here in Salzburg is Getreidegasse. It's been mentioned since the year 1050 when it was the center of wealth and trade. Many of the buildings have passages. Some access courtyards and hidden shops. You'll find inscriptions of the names of former owners, coats of arms, columns, painted eyes of God, arches, and reliefs. Sounds like a pretty wealthy place, right? Well, back in the Middle Ages, I think it was, they used to clean these streets every Saturday evening with water from a nearby canal. And this is when the Middle Ages, they didn't really care about cleanliness all that much, so that was a pretty big deal. The tall, narrow buildings were owned by high-ranking officials and wealthy merchants. And one of the city's most famous citizens, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Me and my buddy. In this room, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born. And this is the living room, the biggest of the rooms here in the apartment. Apparently lived a very happy childhood. He had very devoted parents who themselves were musicians. This is his sister, and this is little Wolfgang Amadeus. He wrote his first piece at the age of 5. Would go on to write 600 works and only lived to be 35. This is Mozart's childhood violin. This Mozart Museum is one of the most visited in the world. It doesn't take much time, less than an hour. I played Mozart when I was a kid, and it was one of the first works of music that I had to play.
He's still one of my favorites. Here I am playing one of Mozart's pieces I first learned as a child.
It gives you a sense of why Salzburg is the musical city that it is. By the way, you see Mozart everywhere here, from chocolate to a cafe.
No surprise, since one of Salzburg's other nicknames is the City of Mozart. You probably noticed in some of the footage in this video that there's a castle overlooking the city. We didn't have time to go there, but it supposedly has a great view. Before we leave Salzburg, I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention the salt mine tour that we went on. Why a salt mine? The name Salzburg means salt fortress in German. No video allowed once we got inside, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but suffice it to say, it gave us a glimpse into the salt trade that was so intertwined with the city's wealth for centuries. Before checking out the mine, we have to wear special protective overalls, and then we ride these trains to cover more ground. The only pics we do get of the inside of the mine are these pictures of us riding down a slide. And it's not just a tourist gimmick, it's how the miners used to travel between the different levels of the mine. We learned that back during World War II, one of the salt mines in the area was even used by the Nazis to hide stolen works of art. I hope this gave you a sense of the magic and the charm that Salzburg has to offer. Thanks for joining me on Mary Goes Round the World. Here's my tip of the week for you. Get the 24-hour pass. It's not by the calendar day, but for the 24-hour period. And the cost, it's less than 2 tickets. So if you do one round trip, you already made some money. So it gives you the flexibility to travel anywhere in the city for basically free after a while.